Hi and welcome to this session where we're going to be showing today how to save from Microsoft Outlook, from Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint or Adobe Acrobat content from these applications directly into a SharePoint task list, issues list, contact list, maybe an events calendar or any other custom list you may have in SharePoint. So not only can we save into document libraries and complete metadata, but we can also save into these lists and complete metadata at the same time. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so here's a very simple demonstration environment. I've got some different lists and libraries here, but I've got one called Project Tasks. In here, just for demonstration purposes, you'll see that we have some existing tasks in there. We'll come back to this one a little bit later. So this is in the demonstration site. I have a subsite in here called Fox Demo, and within this subsite you will see we have a Contoso task list as well with a couple of entries, conference party options, Canyon Creek levy. You could have other different list types, be it calendars, events, if you wish, or issues list or any other custom list in SharePoint. Today, for today's session, let's just focus on the task lists and saving there from the Outlook, but the same difference would be from Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Adobe and Windows Explorer as well. So let's switch across to Microsoft Outlook and have a look to see how this all works. The first thing we need to do is add the task list into your Outlook environment. So the first thing here is click on the One Place Mail favorites. Now across your organization you would normally have one or more site collections deployed using the One Place Mail central configuration process. Here I have One Place Solutions demo, so let me just drill down. This is all security trimmed, and here you can see that we have a project task list. That's the one we looked at initially, so I'll just add that to the right hand side, and under the demo site Fox, just for some orientation here, I'm going to add the Contoso task list and the Contoso calendar. So it's as simple as that. If I would like to, of course, I can create a new category here and I call it task management just for the demo, and I'll just put these different items in here, and you'll see how this appears on the left hand side in a moment. What I might also do, if you want to, you can normally you do this via central deployment, but as an end user I could do this if I want to without impacting the SharePoint names. It's just for my personal preference. I'll call it Contoso Task List. I'll hit OK, and now you'll see on the left hand side we have the task management folder we created, the Contoso calendar, Contoso task list that we renamed. Again, that's not impacting SharePoint, just my personal view of that, and project tasks. If I was to click on Contoso task list, and here you can see the two tasks that we seen earlier in the web browser, the conference party options, Canyon Creek, and of course I can click on any of these items if I wanted to edit the metadata. From this location I can also create new items if I wanted to in the task list, and I'll just create one called demo hello, complete the metadata of course as you may need to. Maybe the person in groups will assign this to say Tom. And any other metadata you need to. Now this could be a custom list, it doesn't need to be a task list, any list you like, when all the metadata will just come through for the appropriate content type of type task. Hit save. And as you'd expect, the new entry is in here called demo hello. Now let's just jump back and get it into saving content to a task list. So here I've got a few emails. I might just take these 3 emails that we have here. The first process I would like to go through is just saving 3 emails. You could be saving multiple attachments as well, and I'll just drag and drop them to the Contoso task list. Do a move or a copy. And you see what we call the Save to SharePoint window appear. At this point in time I can simply just complete the metadata. So start date again, due date, assigned to, as you've seen a moment ago, hit save. I'll just do the assigned to as well in here so you can see that again, Tom. And I could browse the directory as well if I wish. Hit save. And now what's happened there is the 3 emails have been saved to the task list, and a new task has been created with the 3 emails as attachments. So let's go and have a look at the results. And there's the name that we didn't change the name, so it's just called profit and loss. But if I was to double click on that, that will open up in SharePoint, and here you can see the couple of files. In fact, I only had the 2 files saved at that time. So let's go back to our inbox. The second example I'd like to show is taking an attachment, it could be any attachment, say these two PDF files, drag and drop those to the Contoso task list. Now of course I can create a new task list entry just as I did a moment ago, or optionally I can select an existing item. So let's attach to an existing item, and we'll save to the profit and loss one again. And this time, rather than creating a new entry, it's just going to attach these two files to the existing task list item. Hit save. And that's the operation done. So let's go and have a look at the results again. And here's our profit and loss. I'll double click on it so we open it back up in the web browser. And here's the 3 MSG files we had before, and the 2 PDF files that we just saved there as well. So we can either create a new task list entry or add to an existing task list entry. And that goes for any list type. So the last example I'd like to go through is actually saving to a document library. So everything you see here is available from Word, Excel and PowerPoint as well, and Adobe Acrobat. But let's just save a couple of files, again a couple of emails, or it could be attachments. Now I'll take these two emails and drag and drop them into the documents library. Hit copy. And at this time I can either create a new folder if I wanted to, or a new document set, or I'll just save into the root level of the folder for the purpose of the demonstration. Now because we're saving emails, it knows it to select the email content type, but let's change it to the project document content type so you can see some extra metadata. What I wanted to highlight here, in addition to the manage, in addition to the required columns that you must fill out, because of the required column with that asterisk, what you can also do is complete metadata, manage metadata, or it could be a task list. For the task list, I can start typing ahead if I wanted to select an existing entry like Project Mint, or optionally I can use the selection. Now this selection allows me to choose any option or search, or if I have the rights, I can actually create new entries within the list itself. So I could go and create a new entry within this project list. So if I cancel this, I'll show you a location that does have that set up. In fact, if I show the navigation tree and we go back to, say, the Contoso task list itself, and we'll save to the Contoso task list. So I can complete the metadata as you've seen before, but we have a column here called predecessors, and that's essentially a lookup. It's a lookup to a list. So if I click on the drop down, as you've just seen in the document library, if you have it configured, now this is a multiple choice, so I can add multiple items in here. There's a profit and loss one we created earlier, but there's nothing stopping me from creating a new entry on the fly. So I don't have to go back to SharePoint if the list entry does not already appear. And I'll just call it Demo 2. You will get the idea. Fill out all the metadata, hit save, and now we have Demo 2 on the list. I'll add that one. Hit OK, and save. And that's the job done. So let's just go back to the Contoso task list. And there's the Demo 2 that we created on the fly. There's our profit and loss. So hopefully that gives you an idea of saving from Microsoft Outlook into SharePoint, or it could be from Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Adobe Acrobat, Windows Explorer into SharePoint, into a task list, or an issues list, or an events calendar, or any other custom list you have in SharePoint. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.